So the Bills go to the Meadowlands and maul the Jets, and they didn't even need Josh Allen to be Superman to get the job done. In fact, they only needed Clark Kent. Welcome to the Buffalo End Zone podcast, everybody. I'm Andy Young, no Kevin Carroll this week, so we bring in our buddy, the co-host of Buffalo End Zone on the TV side, former Bills wide receiver Stevie Johnson. Stevie's, if you're watching on the video side, rocking the Spectrum News 1 hat. We'd love to see that. Hey, man, what did you make of the defensive performance in this game? We often start with offense, but this story was mostly about defense to me in this game.
Absolutely. You know, I feel like the defense was listening to the Bills Mafia on X, on Facebook, TikTok, on every social media platform, because it seemed like everybody was concerned about this defense, as if they didn't just go up against two Hall of Famers in Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry at 100% health. So I feel like the Buffalo Bills was ready to answer a lot of people's questions, and that's exactly what they did. They came out, played dominant, and played like a great unit, Andy.
Yeah, so much was made about the way they struggled in the run game, and you mentioned it. Maybe we take for granted that they're playing against one of the best teams in the league, and they've got Derrick Henry and they've got Lamar Jackson and this physical, rugged squad, and they seem to stand up to the test in this game. And Joey Bosa is really leading the way. What kind of a difference can he make when he's going out there getting sacks, forcing a fumble, and really just wreaking havoc? What can that edge rusher do for a defense?
Yeah, way to pick that up, Andy. You were talking about Joey Bosa. I was definitely going to call him out. Joey Bosa, the effect that he can have is exactly what we saw today. But before I talk about today, let's talk about week one real quick. Okay, Joey Bosa started the game out not on the good side. He was on the bad side of the Bills Mafia for running down on a run play, not understanding you're playing against Lamar Jackson, giving up the contain in the outside. But what did we see in week one? He evolved and adjusted in that game, and that got my attention. Like, okay, this guy is on the next level, because he had some bad plays, but he didn't let that get to him. He changed, adjusted, and he made those stops later in that game. And then rolling into week two, what does he do? He only has 2 hits on the quarterback, 2 forced fumbles. I mean, he was everywhere. He got the party started when Ed Oliver, our other workhorse, was out, and that's exactly what we need from Joey Bosa, to step in and fulfill his role like the stud that he is, and the former defensive rookie of the year that he was. He's looking like he's on pace to be an AP defensive player of the year with these numbers that he's putting up right now, but we'll see how it goes out.
Yeah, man, he's got to stay healthy, but he's a guy who obviously still has something to prove and plenty left in the tank. When you look at the way he's playing these first 2 games, you mentioned it, coming off maybe a suspect first half against Lamar Jackson, but yeah, the way he's able to turn things around and get things cooking, really, really impressive stuff. You mentioned Ed Oliver there. A lot of Bills fans were really nervous. We see Ed Oliver missed practice Thursday and Friday. We see him wearing a walking boot. Apparently somebody stepped on him during practice on Wednesday. And a lot of people thought, oh my God, we're losing our best player on the defensive side of the ball, especially after the way he absolutely wreaked havoc against the Baltimore Ravens, was a one-man wrecking crew. What did you make of the young defensive players who were able to step in and kind of a team effort, whether we're talking about TJ Sanders, Deion Walker, who actually got the start, and Zion Logue up from the practice squad?
You know what? Excuse me, Andy. It showed everything that we saw in the preseason. The new guys came in, and they didn't feel like they had to be pressured to do everything and be the world stoppers, because you had guys like Ed Oliver, AJ Epinesa on the defensive line that's been here, Greg Rousseau. So these guys came in understanding, I'm here to be a solid role player. And when the times show, I'm going to present and be the best I can. And that's exactly what happened week 2. Our leader went down in Ed Oliver, and what happened? We had rookies that had to step in, like you said, Andy. And although Deion Walker didn't seem to make a big difference as far as stat-wise and making those plays, but collectively, those young guys was getting after it. They was continuously after Justin Fields, whether getting his pressure or just getting a hit on Justin Fields, which ultimately held them to under 160 yards of total offense. Andy, I didn't see Fields being under 160 yards. Did you see the running game getting shut down like this after going against the Baltimore Ravens team, or did you feel like it happened against this Jets team?
Look, I thought the Bills would improve because they're one of the better teams in the league at taking mistakes and improving on them the following week. That's kind of been a hallmark of Sean McDermott teams. And when things don't go well, like they didn't against Baltimore, especially in the run game, I thought they would improve somewhat. But I was a little concerned because of the way that Justin Fields was able to play last week against a pretty good Pittsburgh Steelers defense, or at least we thought so, and kind of had his way with the Steelers defense. And Breece Hall had a big game too. So I didn't see them completely whitewashing the Jets squad the way they did today. So that was really impressive stuff. I thought the linebackers too in this game had a little bit of a better outing. I think it's really easy against a team like Baltimore to get washed out by big offensive linemen and big fullbacks, and getting off blocks can be tough. I think Bernard and Milano, and to a degree also Dorian Williams out there, because they played quite a bit of 4-3 base as well, did a nice job, Stevie, in kind of getting off blocks and making sure that Breece Hall and Justin Fields didn't go nuts.
Yeah, hey, so that was my thing. Week 1, I was expecting our linebacker unit to fully take over that game, be excited to go up against the best running back, but it seemed like our linebackers was absent. But like you said, this week our linebacker unit stepped up as a collection. And again, I was talking about the defensive line stepping up as a collective. And, you know, I guess we'll just say Bobby Babich is doing a great job with this defense each week. So I'm looking forward to next week. Maybe it's the secondary's job to get 2 interceptions or something big. We saw Christian Benford start the game off with a big PBU. And, you know, the guys are playing confident. And I really wanted to shout that out with Christian Benford because he played a great game against the Baltimore Ravens. He gave up one spectacular one-handed catch to DeAndre Hopkins. But I feel like he took that personally. And you're supposed to, as a great player, even though you had a great game, one catch on you, but you was upset about that one catch and you was ready for payback, and you saw it this week against the Jets while he was, I can't say locking down Garrett Wilson, but he definitely contained him to, I believe it was 4 catches and 50 yards with 8 targets. That's a great game by a defensive back, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, when you hold Justin Fields 3 of 11 for 27 yards, now granted, he went out late in the game with a concussion, we believe, or a head injury of some kind. Tyrod Taylor came back in. But to see that Trey White on the other side of Christian Benford comes back and doesn't look out of place, right? There were a lot of concerns coming through the preseason and training camp. Yeah, he looks good in training camp, but how did he look in the preseason? Then he gets a groin injury. Where are we at with Trey White? Everybody's thinking, and he went out there and played pretty well, I thought, today.
He did. I love seeing Trey White. When he was standing there and then he came on that blitz, I kind of had to look twice at the TV like, wait, did we just send a blitz right now from the corner? Usually we only see that from Taron Johnson, but we saw Trey get in and get on that blitz, and he made the play instantly, and he looked strong. He looked healthy. He looked like he's got his swagger back. So I'm looking forward to seeing him step up next week and continue that throughout the season, because we all know the personality and the style that Trey's had. But it's one thing about when you get injuries, man, it kind of takes your mojo away. As one that had plenty injuries throughout the league, you feel like Superman without your superpowers when you get these injuries. And I saw Trey White looking like an original Superman. I can't wait to see him get back to form, man. This is going to be a good one against the Dolphins.
Yeah, sticking in the secondary. Want to give credit where it's due, because I think perhaps the most criticized part of this team all throughout the spring and summer and last week against the Ravens was the safeties. And we're talking about Cole Bishop and Taylor Rapp. And I thought both of those guys had a nice performance. I think Cole Bishop led the team in tackles in this one, and they looked much more decisive and aggressive. And again, you're not trying to tackle Derrick Henry out there. We understand that that's a tall task, and he face plants a lot of people with stiff arms, right? But I think overall, to see those guys flying around and making plays has to be an encouraging sign for the Bills defense.
Yeah, very encouraging. And that's what I love most about the defensive secondary. They don't discredit themselves. You know, they don't take themselves out the game. They've always been coming down hard to try to make a hit, showing up, you know, whether it's a run or pass. They're always in the area So even when they get beat, you never really see them down and discouraged, you know. So that's why I was always confident in our DBs. I didn't see, even when Derrick Henry was making those long runs or breaking those tackles, I still didn't see no hesitation from our DBs when they was coming downhill to try to stop him. And it just shows that's leadership. That's being on an even keel every week. Not too high, not too low. They've been on an even keel every week, whether it was good or bad. And that's going to pay dividends going into the season and hopefully going into the playoffs and beyond, Andy.
All right, offensive side of the ball now. That's where a lot of people were thinking, all right, Josh Allen, MVP, he's going to toast this Jets defense through the air, and that really never materialized.
No.
This is just the 8th time in Josh Allen's entire career, his illustrious career going back to his rookie year, 2018, only the 8th time where he did not account for a touchdown at all in this game. And normally that's a loss for the Bills. They win by 20, and it didn't look like it mattered at all that they didn't need Superman out there. They just had Clark Kent.
Yo, I mean, Andy, help me with this again, because I'm just putting it together. Josh has been in the league for how many years?
Well, this is his 8th year, right? It's 2018.
8th year, and you said only his 8th time not having an offensive touchdown? So that's
right,
one
either a passing, rushing, or receiving touchdown. Ain't that wild? This is just the 3rd time since 2021 that that's happened.
Wow, this is what we're in, guys. I want you guys to understand we're in the golden age right now. You remember when Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Thurman, Cornelius Bennett, and Talley was running around doing their thing? We're in that moment now, and it's pretty amazing to see, man. I just love it, man. I love what the staff and the organization has done to build this team collectively around the city. And obviously, we know the Bills Mafia goes support, but the way that our leaders have taken control of this team on the offensive side and defensive side is amazing. Not to mention, again, the way they brought the community in. Andy, I want to give a quick shout out to the hats. I saw the hats that Josh Allen's had and what he's doing with the hospital, and that's amazing. That's one of those things that make Buffalo special, from on the field and off the field. It's just things like that, man. I'm just glad to be a part of this squad.
Yeah, really special stuff. I think teaming up with New Era, and he's having kids design hats and then selling them, and the benefits go to the Patricia Allen wing at Oshai Children's Hospital there in Buffalo. So really incredible stuff for Allen. And James Cook, right? This guy gets paid and doesn't take a step off the gas, right, man? Like, he is still just rolling out there. And when the offensive line gets him going, and the Bills play this different physical brand of football that Joe Brady wants to have out there, that Josh Allen doesn't have to go out there and throw for 400 yards because they can just do other things. What does that do for a team when guys are able to contribute in so many different ways, and you don't need your MVP to even look like he needs to be on the field at times?
Man, that is a great sign. That's a great sign when your MVP doesn't have to put the cape on every game. Albeit, I'd rather them put it on every game and show that, but if you don't have to and still win by 20, that's an excellent sign. It gives a lot of credit to the offensive line because those are the guys that's moving the sticks. And when we say moving the sticks, that turns into time of possession. When you own the time of possession and you can move the sticks, that means you're winning on 3rd down. That means your offensive line is aggressive. You know, your offense is running at a level where the defense can't keep up. They're always a play behind. And that's exactly what we saw today. So big shout out to the offensive line. I foresaw the New York Jets defense as a catch defense anyway. So when you have a catch defense going up against an aggressive attacking offensive line or offensive unit, you're already at a disadvantage as a defense, and the Buffalo Bills just showed it was the inevitable. As we go forward, you're going to keep coming back and catching us, and we're going to just score and control the game, and that's exactly what it was. But the Bills having 40 minutes of control, and the Jets having just under 20. So that played the dividends.
Yeah, and Cook, again, shows that he's the Bills' most explosive offensive weapon. Like, of course, Josh Allen does his thing, but Cook can make a house call on just about any play, and we saw that on a 44-yard run where it looks like he squeaks through, he gets bottled up, and then all of a sudden he jets out of there, and it's just such a weapon to have because you don't have a ton of, like, speed burners on the outside, but he still represents a guy who can take it to pay dirt from any position on the field.
Yes, he's a special player, and I'm super glad that the Bills was able to lock him in before this season began. Again, James Cook is a talented player, but when you guys look back at those plays, watch the push that the offensive line has so that James is able to start one way and then veer to the opposite way, break a tackle, get through, and then still take it 40 to the house. I mean, it's an entire offense that's working together and that's making these plays so explosive. And when you got guys like James Cook who can do things like that, or a Josh Allen who opens up the game early with a 40, 30-yard run, I mean, it just shows control and complete dominance. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the boys put out on Thursday night, because you know it's showtime when the lights come on, and especially when the Dolphins come to town.
Josh Allen's stats in this one: 0 touchdowns, 1 bloody nose. Like a scary moment for Bills Mafia. When Allen goes out of the game, Mitch Trubisky comes in, and it's almost like chaos at that time, because you're wondering what's going on with Allen. Did he hurt his leg? Did he hurt his arm? Where is he? I'm in the press box here at MetLife Stadium, and we're trying to find him. He's kind of buried in front of the Gatorade bottles, and he's got this massive huddle of trainers and medical staff all around him. And our photographer, Corey Pomeroy, did a really nice job getting on the sidelines, and you can see they're shoving Kleenex and gauze up his nose because he's got this bloody nose. And crisis averted, right, for Bills Mafia, and he gets right back in there a few plays later.
Yes, I'll tell you, everybody here at the Cambria Hotel in Niagara Falls, everybody was quiet when that moment happened. And then when, like you said, nobody can find what's going on with Josh, there's no info. I mean, the info couldn't come in soon enough. But when we saw him get back out there and got the footage of him with the Kleenex and the gauze in his nose, we knew everything was going to be all right, and our MVP was going to come back, and he definitely did what he was supposed to. Came back in there and led the boys calmly and persistently through the rest of this game. And it was also good to see Mitch step in and get a completion, you know, just to let them know, yeah, I'm still here. I can still manage if I need to. Hopefully we don't need him to, but yeah, he was still here to show that he can, and that's a good sign.
Want to give out a couple game balls on my end of things to the special teams, okay? So first of all, Sam Franklin comes in, and he's all over the field. He's looking like a special teams ace out there making tackles. And then, of course, Matt Prater just doing his thing at 41 years old, clutch, knocking down 50-yard field goals. Like, I mean, how incredible is that a guy walks in 41 years old? I mean, I know he's been doing it a long time, but to just walk in last week and do what he's doing.
Hey, Matt. What you doing? Oh, coaching my kids' game? Yeah, well, we need you to come kick for the best team in the AFC. And actually this week against one of the best other teams in the AFC, in the Baltimore Ravens. And, I mean, it's got to be a dream come true, honestly. This is something that you only, I guess, dream of when you're sitting on the couch looking at these teams, and then you get a call and you go make the game-winning field goal. It's amazing, especially at the age you are. These kickers are evolving. It's amazing. We're seeing 60-plus yard kicks being kicked. It's good to know that Buffalo has a kicker that can kick it from 55 and beyond in Matt Prater. And so, yeah, shout out to your game balls. For my game balls, I'm going to give a round to the offensive line. I got to give one to James Cook. But I'm going to give the biggest game ball to Joey Bosa. I have to, man. He did what he's supposed to on the defense, and he's stepping up and showing that he is a difference maker. I can't wait till everybody get back and see a collective 100% healthy and unsuspended defense, and we'll see really how good this Bills defense is.
Stevie, you brought it up. Short week, getting ready for Thursday night football. Taron Johnson didn't play in this game. Ed Oliver didn't play in this game. So we'll see throughout the week coming up here what's the status of those guys. But as a player, what was your approach to these Thursday night turnarounds where you got to be ready in a hurry?
Yeah, so honestly, none of the players think about how fast the turnover is unless you're being asked about it. Then we like, oh, dang, wait, we got to play in 4 more days? That's when we say, oh, that's kind of wild. We really would rather get rest. But if you never ask the player or anything about, hey, these turnarounds, hey, it's showtime. That's what the Bills are thinking right now. It's showtime. We just got one great win. We just got another dominant win. I'm ready to go get another great one or another thrilling win, you know, in front of our fans. So I don't think the boys really mind about having this quick turnaround. But, you know, thinking about the body, it is brutal, but at the end of the day, we don't complain about it. We're ready to put on the show for the fans.
Is it almost a case, too, where you feel it more after the second game, right? Like you play a Sunday, then you play a Thursday, then you get that mini bye, then you're like, oh, damn, man, I got beat up these last 8 days, right?
Yes. So really they'll begin feeling it after Thursday. You
Yeah.
know, so, but the thing about it is, yeah, the evolution of the medical staff and the training and getting the bodies right is it's second to none. I mean, it's top tier. So I have no worry in the guys getting back to strength. And not to mention what Mr. Bean or Brandon Bean has put this team, how he's put this team together. We have depth, so there's going to be guys that's going to be healthy and prepared to get some of this great feeling of sweet victories. So yeah, I really wouldn't put too much thought into the quick turnaround. Just understand that those boys are ready to ball out and finish this season strong, the last season in Highmark Stadium.
So the Bills now 2-0, 1-0 in the AFC East, looking pretty darn good doing it, scoring 71 points over their first 2 games. And the Dolphins come to town not so great, 0-2. So we'll see what that looks like when AFC East rivals get back at it on Thursday Night Football. But for now, for Stevie Johnson in Niagara Falls, Andy Young here at MetLife Stadium, we'll be back with Kevin Carroll coming up later this week. But for now, that's the Buffalo End Zone podcast. Thanks for listening.